So in this video, we're going to go through some of the formulas and notation that you need to know. Okay? The first thing you need to know is the terminology in terms of pi. Okay? And you should remember from middle school that pi is the ratio between the circumference and the diameter. Okay? But in terms of pi means that we need to leave pi in our answer. Treat it like x. So what this means is that, let's say I was adding the circumference of two circles. So let's say I had a circle with a circumference of 6 pi plus a circle with a circumference of 12 pi. Okay, if I were to leave this in terms of pi, this would result in 18 pi. If I were to round this, I would put this in my calculator as 18 times pi, and I would get something around 60 for the answer. Okay, so if they ask you to leave it in terms of pi, you need to leave pi in your answer and treat it like an x. Okay, so combine like terms with pi, that kind of idea. Okay?
Ruby Coleman, please come to guidance. Ruby Coleman to guidance.
Okay. We also need to know what perimeter is. Perimeter is one dimension, and it is the distance around the outside of a shape. Okay. Area is two dimensions. So when we talk about it, it's like inches squared, right? Okay. And it is the space, a two-dimensional object takes up. Okay. So we need to know some area formulas. Okay. Perimeter, there's no formula for perimeter for non-circular objects because you just add the sides. So perimeter we find by adding. And area we find by multiplying. So, area formulas. The first area formula that you need to know is the area of the square. Area is side squared. Okay, we could also say the perimeter for this is 4 times the side, because there's 4 sides, and I'd be adding up all 4. So it's like side plus side plus side plus side. And we know in a square that all the sides are equal. Okay, in a parallelogram, okay, the area is base times height. Okay. And the base of a parallelogram will always be whatever side is touching the ground. Okay. But the height, well, the height is the distance from the top to the bottom. So the height could be in here, or it could actually be on the outside of the parallelogram. And this is where some trig could come into play. So I could be told, like, this length is, 12, and be given 30 degrees here, and be asked to find h. So some trigonometry could come in to this little right triangle I have going on here to find h. Okay, and once I have h, I can find the area of that parallelogram. Okay. Formula for area of a triangle. Okay, it's 1/2 base times height. So remember, the base is whatever part is touching the ground, and the height makes a right angle with the base. Thank you. Okay, so H is always the perpendicular length from the opposite vertex to the base. Okay, so if I rotated this, and let's say my base, they told me, I'm kind of looking at it like this now, right? They told me this length, okay, I could still find the height here. As long as the height is perpendicular to one of the sides, that's the height, okay? And it has to go from the vertex to the side. Okay? The last one that we must know is a trapezoid. Well, the last non-circular shape that we need to know is a trapezoid. This was a triangle. Okay, a trapezoid, remember, has parallel bases and non-parallel legs. And the height, again, goes from the opposite vertex to one of the bases. It makes a right angle with the base, okay? And again, guys, trig can come in here. Anytime you see a right angle, trig could be used. So they could end up telling you, you know, this angle right here and the length of this side, and you might have to find the height. Same down here. They might tell you this angle and maybe this length right here, and you have to find the height, okay? The area of a trapezoid is 1/2 of the big base plus the little base times the height. Okay, 1/2 big base plus little base times height. All right, so those are our non-circular area formulas. Okay, trig can come up with these. In fact, we're going to talk about finding in our enrichment the area of a triangle using trig. I'll get into more detail with this tomorrow in class, but keep in mind trig is going to come back. Okay? Circular formulas. Okay? The area of a circle is pi r squared, where r is the radius. The circumference that's like the perimeter of a circle, is pi d. Okay? Okay, and remember, twice the radius is the diameter. The radius is half of the diameter, and the circumference is the perimeter of the circle. It's that roundness around the outside. Okay, so I want to take a brief moment here and make sure that you guys can see all the formulas. So here are some of the formulas that you need. Area equals pi r squared, circumference equals pi d. And here are some of the other formulas that you need. Area equals side squared, perimeter is 4s. For parallelogram, area equals base times height, knowing that the height might be inside or outside of that parallelogram. Triangle, area equals 1/2 base times height. Trapezoid, area is 1/2 big base plus little base times height.